So cool. Let's kick off. It seems like a few people are here as well. So nice to see you all here. Thank you very much for joining. So what I'll do is I'll kick off and just let you know, for starters, that I'm inside our demo platform. So we have a free demo platform to use without any registration at all. So anyone can just open up demo.coinmetro.com. What you'll get is basically a few different balances, including some Bitcoin, some Euros, some of our own token XEM, and some Ethereum. You can't withdraw it, sadly, it's not real, but you can certainly play around with it on our platform and get familiar with the entire thing. So we have quite a large product suite at Coinmetro, including like simple newbie-friendly products like our little swap widget over here that you can see. But today we'll focus on margin trading. So the main thing with the dashboard, at least, you can see the balances here, they're all available. And you can see that I've already got some, I would say, slightly unsuccessful trades on the margin platform, but at least you can visualize any open P&L that you have from the dashboard. So you can see that you're already interacting with the margin trading platform. And from your wallets and transactions, you can see and filter any like margin transactions that you have. So here you can see I can just filter to just margin only. So you can see any kind of fees that have been paid and see a few more details around that too. But we'll dive straight into the new margin platform. So we've offered margin trading for around 3 years at Coinmetro. This is, I think, our 4th iteration of our UI. We still have the second version, which we're now calling Classic, which is available at coinmetro.com/margin/hyphen-classic. So you can go and check it out. But I want to focus today on the brand new product. So you would see a pretty big visual change if you were to compare the two side by side, to be honest. And we're in a place where we're all very happy and very proud of the product as it's in today. So I'll give you a quick rundown. Just on a desktop here, you can see the side navigation. You can actually close this. So if you do feel like the platform's a little bit cluttered and you're going to be in the margin trading platform for some time, you can close this. And you can still navigate to other screens from here too, or just expand it back up if you're not familiar with the icons. What I'll do is I'll leave it open just for now. So the main thing, obviously, we've got the charting area with an integration with TradingView. So nothing changed there really, just the color palette itself. So we're now what we're calling OLED or like black as our dark theme. So much more sort of cleaner, modern, easier to read, so better readability of particularly the numbers, which are important in this experience at least. We've got our order book, which has been restyled, and the trade history as well, which again has been restyled, which includes a tab to see your own trades. What we'll do is we'll cover like new features. There was a few, like there was a lot of feedback that we got from our community during the last iteration of the margin trading experience. I think we did a good job of addressing a lot of issues we had over the previous couple of years. I got it to a competitive place at least, or hit like a status quo, but we wanted to make sure we're delivering the easiest to use margin trading platform in the space. I think we're now pretty close to that. I would say we're very happy with where we've got to. There's still some feedback coming through, so we're making sure that we're addressing all of the points from the community. But some of the original ideas were addressed. One of the pain points on the last margin platform was the pair selection. So we've now we made sure that we focus on this area here. So yeah, like quick speed, making sure that the filtering and sorting options are really easy to use. Still being able to favorite and displaying the correct data that was being requested by the community. And the search function as well is nice and fast with an option to clear any search. So this is how you navigate and switch between pairs, and you can favorite too. I know that a lot of users also wanted to see recent pairs that they're traded. So there's a few ways to now do that, like dark days in crypto, guys. So yeah, the good thing about margin trading is you can even profit during a bear market, you know. So we'll cover how to open positions very shortly. But yeah, basically when you favorite assets, you'll see that they appear and disappear from this new favorites area. So at the moment, I've got 5 different pairs there. So you can store maybe up to 10 or so, depending on your screen size. So as you add them from here, they'll also be added into the space at the back. So this just makes it easier to navigate anything which you trade on a frequent basis. As well as that, we've got, as long as you've opened a few different pairs recently, you'll see a recent pairs tab here. So you can also navigate quickly to anything that you were just on. Another way to do that would be if you have active positions open, you'd be able to click here on the actual pair itself and quickly switch between the two. So if you see that you've got a position here that you do want to manage, you can quickly go to BTC USD, for example. Yeah, just one thing to highlight is that there are obvious risks included with margin trading. So we've got some educational material as well as lots of material on our blog as well. So if you do head to our blog, which is blog.coinmetro.com, you'll be able to search the word margin, and it will come up with all the articles which are related to the margin platform. So there we have, for example, how to leverage margin trading in a bear market, for example, another tutorial specific to the product. So there you'll be able to read about any risks associated and just make sure that you're familiar with the product. But of course, the demo is always available. And I would always advise to make sure you place a few trades on it. Just get familiar with the platform. So even if you've used margin platforms or futures leverage trading on other platforms, and you think you're familiar with it, just get comfortable with our user experience. But yeah, we make it as simple as possible. You can close this, for example, if you're familiar with the risk and you're happy with everything, just to save some space. So yeah, things like the order book, typically same as before. You can click on the order book and into the limit price, nice and quick. Here you'll see that there's more options. I can talk you through these two. So at the moment, the order book is just seen as it is. So you can see that there's one order here, one order here. What you can do is you can make them cumulative. So you can make them all add up. So now you can see the kind of total depth in a cumulative fashion here. And behind this, you can see that there's like volume bars. So what this is showing you is that there's a lot of volume, or a lot of orders at this particular price level. You can also combine those and make those cumulative too, which gives you more of like a depth chart behind the order book. Typically, this is the easiest way to look at things, especially if you're placing larger trades. So you can understand exactly what would happen if, for example, in this case, you were going to sell 25 Bitcoin or buy 25 Bitcoin rather. You could see where you would end up in the book when you start eating up these orders. So this is very useful. As well as that, you can change the decimal precision as well. And if you just want to see the buy side, so if you're only selling, maybe you want to see a bit more depth in the book, you can also adjust the book there. As well as that, you can hide the order book if it's not a tool that you're going to be using or it's just not comfortable for you. You can also make sure it's hidden. Just a bit less data on the screen, maybe it's less overwhelming. Otherwise, yeah, you can see the market trades. If you hover the time, you can see the date too. And you can also switch the size from either the quote or base pair, so between USD or BTC. Some people just prefer to see everything in a more familiar currency. So in this case, USD. So we'll leave that as is. And then this tab here just allows you to see your own trades. And again, you can see the time that these went through and the date too. And again, the same, you can see the USD value. So it could be, at a glance, you can see that your last trade was for around $200 worth of Bitcoin. And again, you can close that and see more of the order book if you wish, or just leave both open. So yeah, a bit more customizable than the previous version. And again, there's also some settings just to customize the platform a little bit more. So there's what we would consider to be more advanced options. So I would suggest to leave these off until you're really comfortable with the platform. But you can turn on one-click trading, which is basically you won't get a confirmation, are you sure, before you go ahead with your order, or when you go to cancel an order, or in this case, doubling or reversing a position. So I'll show you what it looks like with the dialog, and then you'll see when it's turned off. So we'll leave that as it is. And as well here, you can choose to show any profit and loss in either USD, Euro, or BTC. We'll add support for more currencies here in case you're in the UK, for example, and want to see GBP, or maybe you want to see things in ETH. So we'll add a few more pairs during the coming months. And you can also set price alerts as well from here. So if you kind of on the move or traveling, not looking at the screen, you can set a price alert and make sure you get a push notification to come back to, and you'll be directed back into the platform. And as well, if you do need to top up and add funds in order to margin trade, you can now do that from the same place. So a few more options just so you don't have to navigate away and kind of disrupt the experience. The next point, I guess, is the new exposure panel. So you can see at a glance your open profit and loss. And you can also see, I guess it's a meter of some sort. So the margin meter, if you want to call it that, where you can see kind of how your free margin looks overall. The way that this works basically is that if you had no positions open, and let's say you had 100 USD as collateral and no positions open, everything would be free to use. So the meter wouldn't have moved at all, or the indicator wouldn't have moved at all on the meter. As you have either losses or margin is being used, the meter will come down. At this point here in the orange zone is that you have 30% of your free margin available. At the moment, you see I have 88.8, so I'm way up the scale here in a safe place. What will happen when your free margin goes to zero is that you'll get what is known in the industry as a margin call. So this occurs at 0% margin ratio, which means, for example, you had 100 USD in collateral, maybe 50 is in use, and you have a profit or loss of minus 50. So overall, you have a zero margin ratio. If things take even more of a turn for the worse for you, we'll start warning you that you're in kind of the danger zone here. And eventually, once you're at a minus 70% margin ratio, you will be stopped out. What it means when you're stopped out is that all of your positions will be liquidated or closed, and they'll be closed at market as well. And any positions or open orders that you have, they'll also be cancelled. It's just to protect you from taking a more severe loss or maybe experiencing a negative balance. Some platforms may be 80 or 90%, but we're more on the side of caution, to be honest. So minus 70% to protect our users. This is always open, so that this cannot be collapsed. Is very important data when you're using the platform, to be honest. Just to make sure you know exactly where you stand and what position you're in case you need to add more collateral or start managing some positions to close them. Further down, we have the collateral and fees. So I'll show you both of these now. Total collateral is the amount of funds that you've added to the platform. So these are used, or this margin is used to open new positions or create orders. And I'll show you exactly what that all looks like later on. And you can see the breakdown of what's in use, what's in orders, or what's free to use here, as well as profit and loss, the available margin, and you can manage it here. And what you would see as a brand new user to the platform is actually that the balance is zero. You'll see a small icon that you can add a balance, and also the button here would rather just say add collateral to start, for example. So you'll know exactly where to start and how to get started on the platform if you're brand new to it. Beneath the next tab is fees. So you'll be able to see any fees which are currently owed. So there's a bit of a tooltip here. You may not be able to read it on the stream, which I understand, but basically the margin fees are calculated hourly based on the borrowed margin that you have. And they're taken from the primary collateral every 24 hours. So there may be some cases where you close all your positions and there's still some owed fees, and it will just be collected automatically, so you don't have to do anything at all. And you'll be able to see a history of paid fees as well, the currencies that they're paid in and what exposure you've had in total. So there's a nice transparent breakdown of all the fees here. I'm just going to see if there's any questions at this point about anything maybe I've already covered. I don't think so. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining, by the way. Um, One of my friends from back in the UK. Thank you. So let's continue to look through. So yeah, with this being the main thing that you would interact with when you get started with the platform, I'll make sure that this is covered first before giving a demonstration of placing any trades. So when you manage collateral, it obviously wouldn't appear so intimidating at first. Um, there's already like multiple assets added here, so something's already happened. So, but again, this would just say 0, and you would get to pick from any asset which is supported. So we offer multi-asset collateral. So if you want to stick with euros and have euros as your collateral, you can do so and set that as the primary. If you're maybe more bullish on crypto or don't want to sell your Bitcoin in order to start margin trading, you can use the Bitcoin itself as a collateral. This is particularly good if you're going long on Bitcoin. So you kind of the collateral you have increases in value, and you end up making a good profit on the trade itself. So yeah, if you're bullish on crypto, maybe you want to use that crypto as collateral. There's other options like Euro, USD, USDC as well for anyone using stable coins. And over time, we'll make sure that we add more options as well. So if you don't own the asset, there's a quick way to deposit, which you can see here, or in this case on the demo platform, it's already given us some Ethereum, for example. So I'll add that. So we've got 10 Ethereum to play with. So we can either use the scroll bar here, hit a percentage, or type into the box here. So in this case, I'll add 25% of it, 2.5 ETH. And I can also set it as the primary collateral from here, which means that all of my fees would be settled in Ethereum. So if I owe 10 USD, it would actually take 10 USD worth of my Ethereum at the end of the day. But in this case, I'll leave it as it is and just get that added. So now you'll see the active assets I have includes the Ethereum here. And you see this all in the USD. This is based on your settings here. So if your preference is to see things in Euro, you'll see this in Euro here. So you see it immediately changes. So let's switch it back to USD. So you can see now my total collateral is higher. My free margin is slightly higher too, because I've added more funds. Yeah, and I've already got a couple of trades open. I was hoping for the sake of the demo that I would show everyone how great of a trader I am. However, in this case, with the hour I had beforehand, it didn't work out very well. But there's one small win here. So what we'll do is we'll open a new position first. So for example, on Bitcoin USD, you can see the order book here. So I'm going to probably fill immediately against this. So let's just buy like 1 BTC or something. So yeah, these are like the stabilizers. This is the newbie friendly 2-click trading. So you can see like an overview of what you're doing here, which is that you're going to be opening a Bitcoin USD long position, so a buy. You can see the size, you can see that you're entering at market, and you can also see the value of the trade there. So for me, 0.1 BTC is going to cost 1,706 USD. So you get a good overview, and here you get to see like if you do want to turn on one-click trading. So again, we let you know this in an advanced feature. So you see the warning on this occasion. If I go ahead and place another order, it skips the step and goes straight through. So yeah, you really do want to make sure that you're familiar with the platform before you start doing that. If you start filling out the form and clicking around and opening positions you don't want open, it's not going to be good. So just make sure you're comfortable before you turn stuff like that off. And if you accidentally tick it and turn it on, you can always come back here and turn it off. So yeah, you'll see both of those positions now. So you can see I now have a long position on Bitcoin, or 2 here. So both at 0.1, both with the same entry price. They both got filled at the same price here. Neither of them have a take profit or a stop loss on them. So you can see that they're both left blank, which means that the positions will just run forever until either they're liquidated or you just manually close them and hopefully close them at a profit. So I'll show you how to manage the positions that you now have open. So you want to make sure that you're on the active positions tab, and you can click on the order row anywhere. So you can click anywhere kind of along here. It will just open up the position details. And from there, you can manage the position by either setting a take profit or stop loss or closing the position. You can also leave a little comment. So there we go. Oh, there we go. So a little tutorial comment. Oh, there we go. So you can see that it's all updated. And you can copy the order number. So, for example, if you feel like you need to contact our customer support team, so we offer 24/7 customer support at Coinmetro. If you need to contact any of our team members, you can always copy across the order ID for the order you have in question. And what I'll do is I'll give an example of adding a take profit or stop loss here. So we try to show you all the data you would need to make like an informed decision here. What used to happen actually is the dialogue would open and you would no longer be able to see anything in the background, which is similar here. However, we now show the current price. So at least you can tell whether you're setting a take profit or stop loss around or above this price. So in this case, I want to take profit when Bitcoin hits 18K. And if it drops to 16,000, I want to just cut my losses. What we do also now is show the total position size. So you can see that if I was to take profit on the full order at 18,000, I would make estimated. It doesn't take into account any slippage, the order book, depth in the book, for example. But yeah, 93.71. And if it was to hit my stop loss, I would lose 106.28. So I can update that. Again, you see like a nice dialogue with full information, exactly what you're changing. So you can see that I had no take profit and no stop loss, and this is what the new ones will be, just to confirm that you're happy with it. And again, you can turn this off to this feature. And you can get a notification just to confirm they're updated. And you can now see inside the order row itself or the position row itself, the take profit and stop loss here. So yeah, you can also close the order now at market or at limit. So you can market close a percentage of the order. So let's close 50%, for example. You see the entry price, the current market price, the position size. Obviously, it's 0.1. So if you were to hit 50%, you would see that you're closing 0.05 BTC, and we're also showing the estimate or expected P&L here as well. So if I go ahead with that, again, I get confirmation that I'm partially closing the position. I'm happy to do that just for the demo. You can see it's all gone through, and now the position itself is here. Yeah, and I've already realized some losses here, which is going to calculate. And again, because this is the demo platform, guys, some of the numbers may not update immediately. But obviously on the main platform, these will update in real time. So you can see that I still have a part of the position open. I could then go and close 100% of that. There we go. So that position's now gone. And you can see overall, unfortunately, in this case, I lost €4 or 4.27 USD. But yeah, under the trade history, this is where all of your positions that are opened and closed will be. So you can see all the information, any take profit or stop loss that you had at the time, when you opened the position, closed it, the entry price and the exit price. So you'll see all the details here. Yeah, you can also see any open orders. So in this case, if we were to place a limit order, for example, a limit buy, again, same amount, 0.1 BTC. Let's open that up. So yeah, you can see active positions, open orders, and yeah, you can see the amount of margin which is being used or reserved in this case in the orders. So you see it here too. So yeah, basically at the moment, let me see if there's any questions here. Time off during the holidays, Alexander? Yes, absolutely. I cannot wait. It's gonna be awesome, especially with an older kid now. You know, he knows what a present is. That's for sure. So it should be cool. Any other questions here in the stream? Is there a way to close a specific percentage of a position? Yeah, I just showed that briefly. So you can open it, hit close position, and at least you can market close a percentage. What we're actually working on now, I think I need to book a call straight after this presentation, then is to be able to close a percentage of the order at a limit price. So here you can see, for example, if I wanted to close this order at 18,000, I can do so. It's basically going to set a take profit at that point. So there's two different ways to set a take profit. It's just whatever feels natural to somebody. In fact, there's three ways. One is to either just edit the take profit and stop loss and add it. The other is to press limit close, and you go straight into this dialog. So I can change that here. And the other way is to close the position, but instead of at market, at limit, which is going to do the same thing. It's going to update my take profit. So it's just kind of semantics, but making sure that users that may be using other platforms are also familiar with how to do it here. So this stemmed from a fair bit of competitor research too. Let me just see, a couple of questions came in on the mobile app. Okay, yeah. So I'm just being asked if there's a way to see your total profit and loss over a certain time period. So yeah, when you go to the trade history, this is available on mobile too. You can see the total closed P&L. This is actually of the whole account at the moment. So we may need to update this here if that's what's actually needed. But yeah, you can see here, I could, for example, see all of my trades that were placed in the last year. So these are the ones I've been messing around with today, which brings the total closed P&L. At the moment, if I just look at the ones created in the last 24 hours, it's still showing the all-time P&L. So if that's something you want us to potentially change, we'll look at that too. So I'm sure somebody somewhere is already writing a ticket to talk about that topic. So yeah, you can definitely see it. The other thing you can do is just download a CSV, in which case you'd be able to work out the P&L over a certain time. But if we want to make it as easy as possible, we can update that for you. No way to add take profit and stop loss when setting your orders. Only edit it afterwards. Yeah, at the moment. So the previous classic version of the platform did allow you to enter a take profit and stop loss at the point of placing the order. This was on our more advanced options. So behind settings, you would have something where you would turn on advanced order types. We basically opted to make sure we were building the kind of easiest to use margin trading platform from day one. We lost some of the functionality, which was not really utilized by many users, to be honest, although it's obviously important to make sure that we're not losing features. I think there's another question that came in through maybe Reddit or the community about any further updates as part of the next roadmap. So this is actually one of them, is to make sure that we're adding back in the advanced order types. So good till dates, stop limit orders, add in the take profit and stop loss into the form, and also things like adding a percentage profit or loss as well as the amount. So you can say I only want to lose maximum $50, or I want to take profit when I've made $50, for example, rather than specifying a take profit or stop loss price. So yeah, they're definitely going to get added back in. But yeah, something that may only affect a few users at this point. But we'll get to it. What else do we have? Could I go over the XCM collateral rules? I can. Is maybe kind of niche and only for those with XCM. So yeah, basically XCM at the moment can be used as collateral, but it can only make up 30% of your total collateral, which means if you have 700 euros, you would be able to add 300 euros worth of XCM. In which case you would have 1,000 euros worth of collateral total, 30% of which is in XCM. The other significant point here is that the XCM itself will be valued at 35% or 30% of the current price. So in this case, it would be valued at, let's say, 20 cents if it's 60 cents today. So if you added five, like let's say 15 XEM, which would normally be valued at 15 euros. Nope, I've got to do some maths here, guys. This isn't good. It's not the right day for me to do that. But yeah, let's say that you added what typically would be considered a balance of 1,500 euros worth of XEM. It would actually be valued at 500 for the sake of the collateral. And again, this is just for protection, really. If I mean, it is kind of to protect against any slippage and negative balances, and also protect ourselves really as a business. If you liquidate yourself with, let's say, if it's 100% of the XEM, we basically end up not being able to liquidate the XEM for the position. So we're still taking a risk, to be honest, as a business, allowing you to use the XEM as collateral. But we understand that there's a lot of demand from the community, and also it unlocks a lot of funds for people to start using the platform. So yeah, there's a little bit of like a give and take on that at the moment. But these are things that we're obviously working hard to make sure that we kind of remove the stabilizers at some point. And there was a lot of updates in the last week with XEM too. But yeah, hopefully that clears it up. Basically, is can only account for 30% of your collateral, and it'll be valued at 30% too. So hopefully that clears that up, Bobby. And everyone should have XEM. You might be correct. Yeah, you may be correct. There's not one for everyone in the world, unfortunately, but luckily there's decimals. What else do we have here? I'll just see if there's any other questions from the community here. I'm a bit conscious of time as well, because I know Kevin needs to start an AMA in 20 minutes. I prefer to use margin for some trades because of tax implications, but I also don't need leverage. So the 30% fee is a bit high. Are you going to lower the margin fee or offer other ways to compensate for it in the future? So let's look at that one more time. Yes, so there's a few things that will be happening here. One is integrating the interest fees into the XEM tiers. So if you're if you're staking XEM and part of our kind of rebates tiers, you may see a percentage of that being rebated. The other thing is that some of that revenue may be pushed back into our XEM Mars program, for example. And the other thing you can do as well, if you understand that you have to use the 5x leverage if you're going to be opening in position here, but you can just take a smaller position. So you could take a position 5 times smaller and only pay on the smaller amount. But at the moment, there is also another plan to launch a new version of the margin trading platform where you can customize your leverage, whether it's on a per position basis or overall, where you could lower it to 1.25% to 1.25x or 2x, 5x, 10x, for example. So this is something that can be expected in the future, but it may not come within the next 6 months. But at least for now, I hope that answers the question. Is there any documentation on how to get started? Yeah, I think I covered this already with the Learning Lab blogs. So you can check those out. Also, there's a banner at the top here, which you can click on and learn a bit more about it. Also one thing to mention is that anyone that places a trade on the brand new margin trading platform will be eligible for 10 USD. So we're crediting the bonuses each Tuesday. So if someone's asked when they can expect their bonus, they'll get credited every Tuesday over the next few weeks. In the future, we'll be running campaigns in a similar way, but we'll make sure that they're all automated and they're paid at the point of making the first trade. But in this case, we just wanted to make sure that we could offer some incentive to new users once we set the platform up and went live. I don't see a total P&L on the iPhone app. I can click the trade history and see. You may need to just scroll further down. If I just have a quick look. Yeah, you may need to scroll further down and even open this up. Let me get in there. While I look at that, I'll just see if there's any others. So yeah, what you'd need to do is basically scroll below the chart and order book, or if you can even collapse the order book part and you'll see exposure there at the bottom where you can see the total P&L. So it is accessible, but maybe suggesting you want it in a bit of a easier to reach place. But yeah, we can look at that too. Thank you very much. Just updated. Okay, cool. I think I've probably answered all the questions from the community. If I'm missing anything, let's have a look. Just people internally making jokes about me. Fantastic. Very good for my confidence. Okay, perfect. Well, what I'm going to do, guys, is just leave it there for now. I'll remain in Telegram for the next couple of hours. So if anyone has some burning questions they want to ask, feel free to join there. I hope the demonstration was clear enough. I think I'll definitely be jumping onto a few more videos. So if there's enough demand, I think I'll MVB. You have to, yeah, let's take that one to Telegram, man. But maybe there's an update there for you soon. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I'm sure this won't be the last video I'll be on. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. And yeah, buy some XCM, do some trading, check out the demo platform, and stay safe. Cool. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.